Alright, it's your main man here, Double H, half to that hope, half to that hope. What's up? We're here, coming to you for another Q&A. So, to get your question answered is very simple. You head to the official website, which is halfhopefootballhut.com, the halfhopefootballhut.com. You scroll down to the Q&A and you simply put in your name, your email, and send in your questions. So, let's roll in here with these week's questions. Maybe you can ask me anything. Pierre Richard Michel. Hello HH, thank you for this great work you do on a daily. We can't thank you enough. Thank you very much. Is this Real Madrid one of the greatest, if not the greatest club team of all time? 3 Champions Leagues out of 4, and if they would have slipped in 2015, who knows what could have happened. Plus, in the summer they go and buy 1 or 2 top players to put less pressure on Cristiano. Could we have 5 to 7 years complete Madrid domination? And also, if the Europa is won by a team who is already qualified for the Champions League through the league, so if the Europa is won by a team who is already qualified for the Champions League through the league, who gets the spots? I would love to see Marseille go all the way. For me, I think maybe the team, maybe they give it to the team below them or something like that, because I think a similar thing happened to United when they came 6th, or maybe you get a spot taken away. It would be very, just based on Payet and Marseille and the fact that, it's a non-Spanish team, it would be very interesting. For me, I think it'd be interesting if Marseille, Salzburg, or Arsenal were to win it, because if Atletico win it, like, fine, you came down from the Champions League, I think it would be a lot cooler if either Marseille or thingy win it. I think Real already in the conversation as one of the greatest club teams of all time, because people can say, okay, they didn't really do well in the league. I don't give a crap. The fact that they've been able to do this in the Champions League, which is the premier club competition, just shows that look, man, you have to at least put them in the conversation. You've got to put them in the conversation. So, and if they were to win this Champions League, I think, not only do they have to be in the conversation, you have to regard them as, yes, these guys are one of the greatest club teams of all time. Like, you have to. 3 in a row, you'd have to. Now they're already in the conversation, but if they were to win it 3 in a row, then they have to be like, yeah, that's one of the greatest club teams of all time. Blackwater. Hi HH. Bayern Madrid semi-final. Do you realize what it means? 10 times in a row. 10. We have a Champions League final with a team from the big 3. Barcelona, Bayern, and Real Madrid. It tells us something about lack of competitiveness. Agree? For me, I think it's just quality. It is what it is. The fact of the matter is that these teams have the best players, have the most money, and it's going to be very difficult for other guys to come in and compete with the looking likes of Modric, or flipping Muller, or flipping Messi, and so forth. So it's just, it's the quality of the guys that they have there. MSOG. Between Romario and Batistuta at their peaks, who will you pick as your main striker? Batistuta. Striker Batistuta. Romario would be my supporting striker, or like my number 10, or my shadow striker. But if you said striker, Batistuta. How many brothers and sisters do you have, and what is your position? I have 2 brothers, 1 sister, and I am the youngest in my family. So yes, I'm the baby, so maybe that explains why I'm a bit crazy and a bit hyper sometimes. Victor L. Hey Halford, which player will you have in your team? A peak Bale or a peak Mo Salah? Probably a peak Salah, because I was trying to lean towards Bale because of what Bale can do in so many areas of the pitch, but the key word is peak, and I would probably say a peak Salah, because you can give him the ball in any situation and he can be able to meander through, so he can dribble past players, excellent at finishing, always knows the kind of right pass to make, the right moves to make. So I think a peak Salah for me can do more in many different situations, as opposed to Bale, as good as he is. If you give him the ball in tight situations where he's going to dribble and really walk his way through many defenders, I don't think he'd be able to do it the way that Salah can. Pablo. Hello HH. What makes it so sure Atletico will lose against Arsenal? divine intervention and Wenger Juju, and the fact that Wenger has now retired, I think the spirits will be with Arsenal. What's your favorite and least favorite fast food? I'm not a fan of fast food, to be honest. But let's just say when I was a fan of fast food, favorites has to be Chinese. Least favorites, probably like a burger, because it's a bit, because I think the way that burgers, I even like hot dogs. You know, I literally only had it because I had to. But again, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't have those because I'm fast foods. Do you think Eminem's new songs suck, or are they good? They're not very good at all. Good rapping as always, but sorry, I do not approve, man. Musically, not good at all. Andrew Trunks 1987. I've seen Black Panther and loved it. It also broke the record at the box office. How do you think Avengers Infinity War will do? Oh, wow. I think... Because, yeah, I'm definitely going to do a preview of Infinity War for sure. I'm going to do a massive preview on it. It's for me, because I've been looking at a lot of videos and a lot of people like previewing the film and everything, and I think for Infinity War, it could break records. I mean, the reason why it may not make a lot of money is because you've got Deadpool 2 coming out, you've got the Han Solo film coming out as well, you've got Mission Impossible in there as well. So there are a lot of other big films, but I think if the key thing is if it's good, if the film is good and the word of mouth spreads, because trust me, if it's good, I'm watching it like three or four times. You know, like if the film is good, I'm watching it a minimum of 3 times. If that film is good, I'm watching it a minimum of three times. If it is like I'm amazing. So, and you're gonna get guys watching that film 6, 7, 8 times, especially like the hardcore fans. We're watching it like 6, 7, 8 times. So that's if the film is good. But I don't think it will make more than Black Panther. I think Black Panther was just a very special cultural event. So maybe it may end up with like a bill 1 or a bill 2, because like Black Panther is on a bill 3. So I think this may end up with like a bill 1 or a bill 2. But then if you think about it, a lot of the other Avengers like films, I think Avengers is on like a bill 5, and that was the first Avengers film. So there's no reason why if this is good, this can't go to a bill 5 or a bill 6 if it's goes to. But yeah, look, I know, very very excited for it, man. I mean, I can't wait. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to be doing a preview on it more specifically. Mo, hello HH. Last week I sent you 2 questions on different occasions without noticing. Sorry about that. Anyway, on the Hangout, you guys were talking about the best sides that have won the Premier League. How highly do you think Leicester's win falls on that list? Would you put it up there with the best? For me, it has to be up there. For me, I think I wouldn't call Leicester one of the best. I just said it's the most amazing league win in history. So as far as a story and as for achievements based on how improbable it was, the odds that were against it is amazing. But Leicester City as a side are not as good as United treble side, are not as good as Invincibles, are not as good as Jose Mourinho's Chelsea side, and are not as good as this Man City side. You know, so it's like, I mean, it's no, you know, they're not as good as those sides, but they were just amazing for that season, and a season where City underperformed. Chelsea were not very good. Remember, this was Mourinho's first season back at Chelsea when he was trying to figure out things. So, I thought that was it. No, I don't think it was his first season back. Or was it second? I don't know. But yeah, amazing achievements. But they can't be called as one of the best teams to do it. No, I can't. No. Dylan Holmes, hey HH, as a Pep hater, how much props do you give him for this season? Huge props, but he still spends half $500 million. Many people, including yourself, said his style couldn't work in England and that he needed it to change. But he stops his philosophy and is not only a champion, but has somehow turned players like Delph, Stones, Mangala, and starting into title winners. He spent a lot of money. We cannot deny that, but despite that, he did his way. And I've got to respect that. And they totally destroyed teams. You know, they totally blew teams away. So yeah, credits where it's due. They played amazing football, and he won playing his style, and he stuck to his philosophy despite detractors like myself saying no. Kavish Birju, who do you think will be the most crucial players for the teams in the Champions League semi-finals, and why? Also, out of curiosity, what's your views on religion and God? Thanks, bro. Champions League. So for Roma, I think a crucial player will be Nainggolan, based on how he can be able to stop Liverpool's midfield. Obviously, with what Jacob could do as a strike, but I think Nainggolan will be very key. For Liverpool, of course, it's Salah, and the influence that Salah can have on the on Liverpool's at attack. For Real Madrid, it's going to be Cristiano. I mean, because he's the game changer. He's the game changer. You give him a snake, so he will always get a chance based on how good Real Madrid are. So I think if he puts his chances away, I think that could be the difference between both sides. And as for Bayern Munich, it's going to be Muller. If Muller can somehow find those spaces that no other guys can find, and I think Muller can definitely maybe turn things in Bayern's favour. Vision, religion, God. I think it's complex. Put it this way: I believe in prayer. I believe in the concept of a creator. So I believe in the concept of a creator, and I believe in prayer. I'm not a fan of religion because I think religion is used to control people. Religion has been used to abuse people. Has been used to cover up pedophilia. And religion as also, can be very morally defunct. So I'm not a big fan of religion. I'm not against any people that follow religion, but I'm just not a big fan of it and that's from me growing up in a very religious household. But yeah, I do believe in a concept of a creator, but it's very, very complex. I mean, it's a very, very complex and long conversation about that. Jacques. Hi, HH. Hope you're doing well. Hope so. Thank you. I was doing some research recently and found out that Salah actually has the joint highest big chances missed in the Premier League this season. I'm not doubting how good his season has been, but is he really as good as people say he is? And would he be as effective in a team that doesn't create as many chances as Liverpool? He is that good because he has scored chances that he's been given, and he's created chances himself. And he scored a very difficult chance. Like you look at that goal that he scored against Man City. That's a very difficult chance to put away. Very, very difficult. And even the goal he scored against Bournemouth, that's hard. Not all other players can be able to chip the keeper from that far out with a header. So he may have missed big chances, but he's done so much stuff so well. He is as good as everyone says he is. Mark Rashford. Double H. Lewandowski has 40 goals this season, and Muller has 15 goals and 15 assists. Why is no one talking about them? Real versus Bayern last 20 matches. Real 10 wins, Bayern 9 wins. Real 9 losses, Bayern 10 losses. Real 1 draw, Bayern 1 draw. Real goals scored 31, Bayern goals scored 30. UEFA number 1 ranked team versus UEFA versus number 2 ranked team. Look, as I said, it's going to be close. Underestimate Bayern at your peril. That is why I'm so pumped and I'm so excited for the game, because it's going to be big. It's going to be very big. Name severance package. I have become increasingly frustrated with Conte in the last few months due to the results he's delivered and his overall demeanour, but I have always stuck by him. However, the loss to Tottenham and draw with West Ham, coupled with his recent quotes about how Sean Dyche has it easier than him, have fully turned me against him and made me fully believe he's intentionally botching our season. If you're Abramovich, what would you do in this situation? And if you're like me, what would you do to get rid of Conte without paying him a single penny? It's going to be very hard. I mean, I think if I was Abramovich or myself, I will try and find a way legally to either get rid of him without paying him any money, or get rid of him with paying him a lot less than what he deserves. I think that's what Abramovich is paying for, because I think that you can't pay him 99 million. I don't understand how you pay a guy 9 million for botching a season. I don't understand how you pay a guy 9 million for losing to Watford, Bournemouth, and drawing against West Ham and getting liked by Tottenham. So I think that's what Abramovich is doing. Like, he's trying to find a way where, how can I get rid of this dude without paying him that hefty severance package? And hopefully he finds a way, legally, hopefully, because Conte does not deserve a penny. Manfred Gunza, hey AJ, last week you got asked a question about interracial dating. I wanted to ask if you have ever dated a white, Asian, or brown woman before, and if you found them any different to black women you have grown up with throughout your life. Also, do you feel a certain way when you see black men married to unattractive, overweight white women just because they feel that they deserve more than average black women? P.S. What the hell is Isco doing the chief Oga rank? He's there because Isco is a chief Oga. Go and look at his performances for Spain and Real Madrid. That guy's a flipping baller. Yeah, for me, yeah. I think I've dated white, not Asian, and I think by brown, I suppose you mean like Pakistani, Indian, and so forth. But yeah, I've gone with white. I think, actually, no, Asian. I think I've done Asian and I've done white, but I'm not gone brown. And yeah, it is different, as in difference personality-wise, body-wise, between the sheets-wise. Very different, you know, and that's just the beauty of seeing people of different races, is that, you know, it's different experiences. And no, I wouldn't feel it. I mean, for me, I don't really buy the whole thing of unattractive and overweight. I'm like, look, if you're with somebody who's overweight and white, look, that's your prerogative. You know, I could care less. I mean, look, mates, that's your life. Shout Hodel. You never mentioned the new Planets of the Apes trilogy in your movie vids. Have you not seen it? Caesar was voted in the top 10 most iconic movie characters. To be honest with you, and I'll be real with you, I actually prefer the original Planet of the Apes film to the trilogy now. I haven't seen the third film. I've seen the first two. The very first one was alright. The second one was really good. But there's something about it that, I don't know, that just doesn't sit well with me. I think there's a certain tone they go for, especially with the apes, that doesn't sit well with me. But as far as for the effects are outstanding. And the circus's work with Caesar is absolutely incredible. Like 100, like for me, absolutely incredible. And I think it is literally on par with, I'll probably say it's better than Gollum, because I think there are a lot more nuances to his performance as Caesar as opposed to what he did with Gollum. So no, that's amazing. But I think for me, as far as a personal taste, I just don't really vibe with it. I think I vibed more with the Planet of the Apes and even aspects of Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes film. But I still objectively say they are very, very well made films. By, I can't remember his name, because it was the dude that directed Cloverfield. Jimmy, hey Halfhope, I'm a big fan of yours and love your channel. My brother Conrad is a big Liverpool fan, and yesterday he was talking with the guys in school about tactics in the Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid, and he puts final in quotes. I told him to relax, but kids these days, he follows your channel and watches your videos, so any messages for Conrad Halfhope? Well, Conrad, I will say this. And I think this, and I was actually discussing with the Banter boys about this as well. Don't get ahead of yourself. If you start booking tickets for Kiev and everything, I think, because I do believe that the world has these external forces, and I think that certain things you put out into the universe can come back and either haunt you or propel you forward. And I do believe that if you are already assuming you'll be in the final and you're already thinking of a final with Real Madrid already, I believe that could come back to haunt you. So I think if you really want your team in the final, your focus solely should be on Roma. That should be your 100% focus. Should be, how do we deal with Roma? How do we deal with Roma? How do we deal with Roma? Because it's going to be tricky. The home tie is at Anfield. The away tie is in Rome. a place where Roma have not yet conceded a single goal in the Champions League, and they kept its Lionel Messi quiet. So I just think Conrad, focus on Roma. Do not get ahead of yourself. Thank you. Thanks for the question. Thanks. Interesting. Name Jan. Hi HH from Germany here. Talking about all-time great World Cup performances, I recently stumbled upon the legendary Zidane versus Brazil 2006 video on YouTube, and godly me, he single-handedly lubricated a vintage Brazil squad full of legends: Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, all are 34 years old. What do you think about this performance, and how do you rank it amongst the top 5 or 10 if you feel particularly generous single performances at the World Cup? I'll be real with you. I cannot. That is what makes that Zidane performance so amazing, because I cannot think of an individual performance that is even on par with Zidane. Because when you look at Ronaldo's 2 goals for Brazil in the World Cup final, he didn't really stand out for the whole 90 minutes. When you look at Maradona's games for maybe perhaps you could look at Maradona's games in the 1990 World Cup, specifically like in the semi-final and the final. You could look at Maradona's game in the final against West Germany or against England as well. But I just think that for 90 minutes consistently, for me, I just think what Zidane did was outstanding. Although I think I remember Marek Hamsik having an outstanding game, I think in Slovakia's first game of the Euros, or was it the Euros or the World Cup? But nothing even comes. I don't think comes close to what Zidane did, because I told you that's why I said I've watched pretty much every single World Cup game, almost every single World Cup game, and what Zidane did I've never ever seen in a World Cup game before. I've never seen one man completely take over an entire game. I've never seen that before in a World Cup game. So, yeah. Kalem, hi HH. I have 2 questions for you. 1, who between John Stones, Smalling, and Gary Cahill is the better defender and should be starting for England? John Stones. Even if he does need to get better, he has actually improved from last season. Smalling and Gary Cahill are 2 mistakes from their crap. So, have you ever considered doing these Q&As live for once? I think it would be very cool with viewer interaction. I may do that. I may do that. So, maybe like next week I may have the YouTube live happening, and then do a whole live thing. All right. James Lombardo. Hey HH, what are your thoughts on Malaga being relegated from La Liga? In 2013, they were one of the most exciting teams in Spain, and they were seconds away from a Champions League semi-final in a team that featured Isco, Julio Baptista, and Willy Caballero, and were also managed by Manuel Pellegrini. As a neutral, it is very sad seeing the decline of their club in the last few years, ending in relegation. Yeah, it is very sad. That's why I think Isco scored like a free kick against them, and you could just see him doing the whole, sorry sir celebration, because Isco used to be at Malaga. Madness. Same thing with like Deportivo. When Deportivo was so good and so amazing, I think they won the league once with Roy Mackay. Few seasons afterwards, they got relegated, and you don't even no longer see the Deportivo as like a big side. And same thing now with Malaga. Look, and it's unfortunate, It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. And it just shows you that in football, you can rise, but you can also very, very easily fall. And what they've done is that they're falling, and it's going to be very hard to really rebuild them, because to find all that talent again that they pretty much gave away, it's going to be very hard to recoup that. All right, so next question here from Max Akundov. Hey Halfop, hope life is treating you well. The question for this week is, if you had to be a superhero, who would you be and why? Superman. I'd have to be Superman, because look, to be able to fly and have all of his powers, nobody can F with me. So, just give me all those powers locked down so nobody messes with me. Supervillain and why? I'd like to be Venom. you know, because Venom just looks very, very cool, and I've always liked the image of Venom. Maybe the Joker, because he's so mad, so it'd be quite nice to not really care or give a crap about anything. But yeah, I think I'll say Venom. What's your favorite movie? Tough. It keeps on changing, so there isn't one particular one, but I'll give you a few that keeps on changing. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, The Matrix Reloaded, Cable Guy, the first Batman film, Back to the Future 2. So those are really the 5 ones that are always around of my favorite films. And what movies would you recommend me to watch? Name at least 5, please, aside from The Chaser, Battle Royale, Midnight Cowboy, The Game, and Gattaca. I remember you recommended them on a previous Q&A. Lastly, do you rate Jason Statham? Yeah, not as an actor, but I think for me, as an action actor, yeah, I think he's a very good action actor. I think the bit of Statham is that he knows his lane. He knows his lane, and I think the reason why he knows his lane, that makes me respect him more, because he doesn't try to be in drama films. And he even said, no, I'm not a dramatic actor. I'm just an action guy, and he knows his lane, and he does very well in his lane. So, 5 films apart from these that you should go. So, I'm going to Swimming with Sharks. Put that down. You might have seen this, but I don't know. For a few dollars more. The Cable Guy, which is what I mentioned before. Because I know many people are saying that the Cable Guy, definitely see that. I'm trying to think of very interesting films that you may not have. 7. Maybe, how did I mention 7? Yeah, 7. And lastly, just trying to think. Internal Affairs. And the thing about Internal Affairs is this was, I think it might be Infernal Affairs. Sorry, Infernal Affairs. Hong Kong film, and this was the film that The Departed was a remake of. So the Departed remade this film. But for me, this is by far superior. So yeah, check it out in Infernal Affairs. So yeah, those are my recommendations from me just off the top of my head right there. Okay. Forward thinking. Hello HH, hope you are having a blessed day. Thank you. I have one question and an interesting proposal for you. Question: how do I join the Sunday night stream? So basically, literally, you have to tweet me your Google username, get logged into the Google Hangout, set up an account, and basically I tweet out the link on Sunday and just click the link and comment. But you've got to tell me what your username is, because I try to make sure that I don't get any spammers or people like that involved. As a long-time subscriber, I vividly recall your initial dismissal of Real Madrid's hat-trick of Champions League wins. So my proposal is that if, and only if, Real Madrid has to win the Champions League, then as a forfeit, I suggest you do a 1-minute video inducting Cristiano Ronaldo into the Chief Oga tier of your ranking with no sunglasses. However, if Real were to lose to Bayern or in the final, I would gladly write a double-spaced apology letter in first person as Cristiano Ronaldo. The proposal is open to alteration if necessary for you to agree. Deal or no deal? Well, first of all, there is no deal with regards to me doing things without shades. There is no deal with me putting him as a Chief Oga. I will only put him as a Chief Oga if he scores a hat-trick in the Champions League final. If he scores a hat-trick in the Champions League final, I will gladly put him in as Chief Oga, and that's it. But if he does win it, I'll move him up to tier 1, and I think that is fair. Name: Kane claimed my girl. Ha. HH, you the man, bro. First, aside from the football banter show, is there anyone else you currently or are looking to collab with in the future? Nini Blue Lines TV, UFF, Also, what are your thoughts on Anthony Joshua, Conor McGregor, and that boss attack? Mayweather in UFC, and what other YouTubers you enjoy watching recommend? Yeah, for me, I really want to. So basically, I actually do work with UFF, so I sort of like helping them to do some work. So I mean, if you have the UFF app, you may be seeing my videos there. And, you know, we're trying to work on some stuff, and I'm definitely trying to get a collab with Nini Blue Lions TV. That's definitely something that I've been trying to work on and focus on getting that. I will hopefully end up getting soon. First round, no, Joshua, I think he's a great heavyweight, but he needs to fight Wilder. Because as a Nigerian, I want him to succeed, and I'm a huge supporter of him, so he's my guy, you know. But I think, you know, he needs to really fight well, because I think I'm waiting for him to really have that great victory that will supersede what he did against Klitschko. Conor McGregor is just a thug. Interesting character, but I think he's just a thug, which that boss attack showed. And Mayweather should not be in the UFC because he'll get completely and utterly destroyed. Other YouTubers I enjoy watching, Angry Joe. For me, if I'm thinking of buying a video game, I definitely look at Angry Joe. Marquez Brownlee, sometimes, I think because he's easily the best tech reviewer. So if you're thinking of buying a phone or a laptop thing, I've really just found him. And he's very famous. He's definitely very good at it. I think so. Angry Joe, Marcus Brownlee. I watch a bit of Collider. I watch a bit of Screen Junkies News. I also watch the Joe Budden podcast as well. Highly recommend that. If you're looking for a laugh and a great podcast just to chill out with, the Joe Budden podcast. Stefan O. Yo, HH, if you had to pick one player that you think is going to have an outstanding World Cup that no one really suspected and double his market value, just like James Rodriguez did in 2015, who would you pick? A player that hasn't really established himself on a big stage that not many would predict. If I had to name a few players, I would be Mexico's Hevano Lozano, Serbia's Milinkovic Savic, or Gelson Mertens from Portugal. What are your thoughts? Keep up with the good work. Bernardo Silva, I think he could definitely do something for Portugal. Who else? Because I think Isco is already known, so I'm not trying to think of people who. But I think a lot of the Portuguese guys. So as you said, like the Gelson Mertens, Bernardo Silva, potentially Adrian Silva could also do something. I'm just trying to think. Muriel, but he's probably known the Colombian guy. Milik, potentially, if Milik is fit, I think Milik could potentially do some really good stuff for Poland. Keita Balde, I think Keita Balde could be another one to watch us for with Senegal. I think in Didi could be another one. Even if he's known, I think Perisic could have a pretty big one. So yeah, there are a lot of guys out there. So I think we have to wait and we seek. PQ Disney. Hi HH, what is your personal beef with Guardiola? I'm not his biggest fan, but the way you give him so little credit for what he's done this season and attributed all to money is unfair, especially when he was supposed to almost the same amount as your boy Mourinho, but on far wiser and more important players rather than blowing just under 200 million on Pogba and Lukaku alone. And why do you always say he needs to prove himself with a lesser team? Yes, you never say the same about managers. You rarely criticize such as Heinkes or Ancelotti, who've always managed top clubs with usually the best players at the time. Surely you can't have it both ways. Basically, for me, my thing with Guardiola is, and I keep reminding myself, it's Barcelona, you had the best club player of all time in Lionel Messi. Bayern Munich, you took over what Heinkes actually built, which was a treble winning side. And at Man City, you have perhaps one of the biggest transfer budgets out there. But at the sense of what I said, Pep Guardiola, he's an amazing coach. He's one of the best coaches in the world. And he has a great philosophy which breeds results. And it's very unique. And I give him that. But at the same time, he hasn't won a Champions League with FC Porto. He didn't build a team from scratch like Alex Ferguson did with Manchester United. How many superstars really did that AC Milan side have that Ancelotti really had throughout the second run? And Ancelotti was a Milan manager for a very long time. and they didn't always have world-class guys. And they didn't have a Lionel Messi. And Heinkes, yes, you can say it's Bayern Munich, but you know, he built that team. Of what we know about Bayern Munich in the modern era, he built that team. When we look at his success in finals, I just feel that he is a better tactician than Guardiola. So that's just my view. But he's still good. It's not hitting. I still believe he's still good. Shane Schubert. Earlier this week, I had a great conversation with an ex-player from the Nigerian club Enugu Rangers. All right, he explained to me that during his time coming through the youth ranks in the 70s, there are times when players in the same team will not make obvious passes to each other due to their tribal differences. Do you have a sense of whether or not such craziness still operates in football, whether in Nigeria or beyond? Sorry if it's an ignorant question. That's not an ignorant question. I think that definitely did happen before, but I don't think it happens now, because I think it's a different era. I think definitely maybe in the 90s or 80s but before, with the whole tribal thing of whether you're Yoruba, you're Igbo, your Hausa, it would definitely play a huge role because of how people were strong in their tribes. But I don't think that's the same, because I think people are younger, people are much more different. I think that when you look at these Nigerian teams, they're a lot more exposed, and because they are more exposed to the world and to Europe, the whole tribe thing isn't much of a big thing. Whereas guys in the 70s, because they're not really exposed to Europe and they're a lot more, some of the time, local based, they didn't have much more of a worldview to realize that, look, all that tribal stuff is crap. Kratos, hello HH. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on FC Barcelona during the Frank Rijkaard era and where they rank in terms of the greatest teams of all time? Why don't people talk about them or show them enough love? Do you think that the Pep team just overshadowed the previous team too much? Thank you and keep up the great work. I love that team. I think that team was amazing. I think because of how successful the Guardiola team was, people forget how amazing that Rijkaard team was. In my personal opinion, I preferred that Rijkaard team to the Guardiola team. I think the way that they played, the attacking football, the offensive football was amazing to watch. And I just think they were just an amazing team to really see play. And Rijkaard's philosophy for me was amazing, because Rijkaard as well, I still say that one of the best teams to have never won a trophy was that Holland team in Euro 2000, because that's one of the best teams I've ever seen. That Euro 2000 Holland team were outstanding and played outstanding football, and it is a crime that they did not win a trophy. Yared, will you induct Mark Hughes into the Brick Academy permanently if he gets both Stoke and Southampton relegated this season? And who do you think is the ideally successful Arsene Wenger? Yes, I have to. To relegate both teams in the same season, you have to get inducted fully. Maybe even a scholarship. For me, for Wenger, I think I'm even doing a video on this. The German dudes, I think one guy is called Nagelsmann, and I think the other guy is Tedesco. The Schalke and Hoffenheim managers. Those are the right guys that I think Arsenal should get. I think they have the same philosophy as him. And final question. Actually, well, I think that's okay. I'll do this. Okay, Pierre Michel again. Remember, I only really want to answer one question per person, not two. But since I've seen this here, hello HA. Just heard Wenger is leaving Arsenal. What is your take on that legacy? Will he leave over there? I feel he should have a real respectful departure. Arsenal fans owe him a lot of respect, but he might have done this 1 or 2 seasons. That's what's your take on that? What's next for him going to PSG, managing a national team? Where is he going next? So I've already given my video on it, but just to reiterate, it was too late. I've done it seasons before, but better late than never. And PSG, I think they're already getting Tuchel, so maybe he may go to Monaco. He definitely wants to get back into management, but I would advise that he takes a year off, relax, look at the landscape before he goes back into management again. Guys, that is it. Thank you very much again. To get your question answered, head to the website halffootballhot.com. Name, email, ask me any football or non-football related questions. Peace out, stay true, and stay black. Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half of Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.